Petplex, the name your pet should know. Call 929-3300.
Hi guys, I'm Allie. Thank you for joining me on Petplex Animal Hospital's YouTube channel. Today we are doing part one of a two-part video about reptiles. So today we're going to mostly be talking about ball pythons, and you'll have to stay tuned for what is featured in part two. I just want to give a quick shout out to a local reptile rescuer who really helped me with this video. Without her, it really wouldn't have been the same. It's only so much that you can research and do reading on, but to have owned and actually experienced reptiles is a totally different situation. So thank you to Brooke Earhart. I really appreciate your help, and we'll go ahead and get on to the video. Ball pythons are one of the most commonly owned species of snakes. Also most commonly owned species of reptiles. These guys are really great. They're very sweet and docile. However, they are a lifelong commitment. Snakes in captivity can live up to 25 years if properly cared for. So it's essential that you've really taken the time and done your research before you go ahead and purchase one of these guys. I do recommend purchasing from a breeder. Education and the knowledge that the breeder has is really invaluable. So I would recommend purchasing from a breeder rather than your local pet store, just for the sole purpose of, especially if you're a first-time reptile owner, it is essential that you're getting a good quality snake. You know exactly where it came from, what they may be prone to, and you're getting all that information and knowledge from the breeder and help should you need it. Ball pythons are easily socialized animals. Again, they are very sweet and docile. For juveniles or snakes that you've just purchased, I would recommend only handling a short amount of times, starting with like 15 minutes at a time and working your way up, just because reptiles aren't domesticated like our dogs and cats, so you do have to really take the time to know their warnings and know their limits and work your way up to a really social snake. Ball pythons are native to sub-Saharan type atmospheres, so this means temperature and humidity are kind of a big deal for them. Ideally, your tank is divided into two sections, one being a warm section and one just being room temperature. The warm section would be between 85 and 90 degrees. I would recommend an under the tank heater to keep that half the tank warm. If that's really not doing the trick for you, however, you can use a ceramic heater. I would try and avoid the heated rocks that you can purchase, just because snakes do absorb temperature from their environment rather than regulating it within themselves like mammals do. So it's really easy for them to burn themselves on the heated rocks. So I would try and avoid those. And again, the other half of the tank can just be room temperature, and that's just fine. However, the humidity in the tank should be about 60%. So I would have a hydrometer and a thermometer in your tanks. That way you can monitor those two things closely. The tank should be about 20 gallons in size, but you can start with 10 gallons for juveniles or under a year of age. The substrate or the lining that's at the bottom of the tank should be something that's loose and something that holds moisture. Coconut bark, I think, would probably be the easiest, and it's very moisture holding. I would avoid things like cedar and pine beddings because the dust can cause upper airway problems, so I would just avoid those completely. As far as food and water, they should have a water dish that they should also be able to coil their whole body in. And feeding, we normally feed mice to ball pythons. I think frozen is probably the easiest, most convenient, and comfortable for owners, so I would probably go with frozen. Just make sure you're picking the appropriate size. Normally snakes are fed about once a week. If they don't want to eat 1 week, it's not so big of a deal. You could try again in a few days or try again next week. But if your snake has gone 3 weeks without eating, I would recommend seeing a veterinarian at that point. Ball pythons can be very finicky eaters. Any kind of change in their environment can stress them out and cause them to not want to eat. So keep that in mind, that they really like a consistent atmosphere. Just like with pocket pets, a lot of issues with reptiles come from their husbandry or the way that they're being kept. And proper shedding is probably one of the most common issues that you'll see in ball pythons, which means they're not shedding in one full shed of the length of their body, they're shedding in little pieces. So normally this is an issue with the humidity. If you adjust the humidity and it's still not improving, again, I would see a veterinarian. External parasites are another common problem that you'll see with ball pythons. They'll appear like tiny little black bugs all along the snake. You'll have to see your vet for that. Ideally, you would already have a vet selected before you purchase your ball python. And I recommend this with purchasing any new pet. Have the veterinarian available, introduce them to your pet, and that way you already have a relationship with a veterinarian. You know will be available if you need them. For any local viewers, we do not see snakes here. However, we do normally refer to Animal Care Unlimited or MedVet in Hilliard if you are looking for a reptile veterinarian. Alright, and I think that about sums it up about ball pythons. I hope that you guys, if you're looking for a reptile, would consider a ball python. However, stay tuned for our next video, and that's going to be part 2 of our reptile series, and we're going to talk about bearded dragons. If this video helped you or you really enjoyed it, go ahead and give it a like, and subscribe if you are anxious to see the next video about bearded dragons. I don't want you guys to miss it. Thank you for watching. Bye!